July 28, 2025. The world's security landscape is unrecognizable compared to a decade ago. The clear lines of nation-states and conventional armies have blurred, replaced by a complex web of threats and actors. Technology is the great disruptor. AI, the internet, and satellites empower not just nations, but small groups and individuals. The tools of conflict are democratized, making disruption possible on a global scale. Civilian and military boundaries have all but vanished. A nation's power now hinges on digital defenses and information warfare. The battlefield is everywhere, online, in space, and in the minds of citizens. Old strategies are obsolete. Relying on traditional military might is like locking the front door and leaving the windows wide open. Security today is about managing interconnected risks, not just facing a single enemy. To understand global power now, we must look past headlines and grasp the deep structural changes at play. The map of global security is being redrawn, and everyone is on it. Cyberspace has become the new front line, unregulated, borderless, and unpredictable. Cyber attacks can cripple power grids, banks, or hospitals from anywhere, with attackers often remaining anonymous. This anonymity undermines deterrence and makes retaliation nearly impossible. Small states or even individuals can now inflict massive damage, leveling the playing field and tempting reckless behavior. The line between espionage, sabotage, and war is blurred. Governments struggle to define and respond to these acts. Digital borders are porous. Malicious code and disinformation cross them instantly. Traditional tools like sanctions or military force are often useless against faceless hackers. For citizens, the threat is personal. A cyber attack can erase savings, endanger lives, or paralyze cities. The front line is now everywhere. Every device, every network, every person is a potential target. Building resilience against cyber threats is no longer optional. It's a national imperative. The digital Wild West is here, and everyone must learn to survive in it. Security in cyberspace is everyone's responsibility. Artificial intelligence is transforming warfare. Faster decisions, smarter targeting, and new risks. Militaries race to deploy AI for logistics, intelligence, and even autonomous weapons. Lethal autonomous weapons can identify and strike targets without human input, raising profound ethical questions. Who is accountable when a machine makes a fatal mistake? The coder, the commander, or the manufacturer? The speed of AI-driven conflict could outpace human control, risking accidental escalation. AI systems are vulnerable to manipulation. Poisoned data could turn smart weapons into liabilities. As nations depend more on AI, their security becomes tied to algorithms they may not fully understand. The future battlefield is automated, unpredictable, and fraught with new dangers. The nuclear threat hasn't faded, it's evolved. The world is now multipolar, with more nations and unstable rivalries. Arms control treaties are unraveling, and new weapons, like low-yield nukes and hypersonic missiles, blur the line between conventional and nuclear war. The risk of nuclear materials falling into terrorist hands is real and terrifying. Major powers are building new arsenals, while trust and communication have eroded. A cyber attack or false alarm could trigger disaster in a climate of suspicion. The shadow of nuclear annihilation is diffuse, unpredictable, and more perilous than ever. Preventing catastrophe demands vigilance and renewed cooperation. The nuclear age is far from over, it's just more complex. Military might alone no longer defines power. The US learned in Iraq and Afghanistan that winning battles doesn't guarantee political success. Today, influence comes from a blend of hard and soft power. Military strength, economic vitality, diplomacy, and cultural appeal. Smart power is the new currency, combining force with persuasion and alliances. Nations admired and trusted can achieve more without firing a shot. Relying solely on coercion breeds isolation and resentment. Security now means investing in diplomacy, aid, and global partnerships, not just weapons. True strength is collaborative, not zero-sum. The world's toughest problems, climate, pandemics, instability, demand integrated solutions. The illusion of military dominance is fading. Real power is adaptive and multifaceted. Nation-states no longer have a monopoly on power. Non-state actors, corporations, NGOs, terrorists, and private military contractors shape global security. Private military companies blur the line between state and mercenary, raising accountability and legal concerns. Their actions often escape oversight, risking abuse and undermining state authority. Terrorist and criminal networks exploit technology and weak governance, destabilizing regions and defying conventional tactics. These groups don't respect borders or rules, making them resilient and unpredictable. The rise of non-state actors demands new strategies and international cooperation. The future of conflict is decentralized and far harder to control. We face a crossroads. Technology, nuclear risks, and shifting power threaten a fragmented, dangerous future. Advanced tech and old threats combine, raising the risk of accidents and escalation. Isolation is a dangerous illusion. Today's threats are global. Viruses, cyber attacks, nuclear fallout ignore borders. No nation can secure itself alone. Security is now collective. We need new rules for cyberspace, robust arms control, and revived diplomacy among major powers. Global governance isn't surrender, it's survival. Power must be used with wisdom, restraint, and shared responsibility. True strength is the ability to build, cooperate, and solve problems together. The path forward requires courageous leadership and an informed public. The crises of 2025 remind us we're all on this precipice together. Only by joining hands can we step back from the edge. The future of security is shared, or not at all.